Most people think Bitcoin is just digital money. Developers see something different. They see a platform like an operating system with a hidden API. The puzzle is this. How do you build a trustworthy app on a network where no one is in charge and anyone can be anonymous? The answer? Bitcoin offers a fixed menu of guarantees that never expire. A guarantee here is not a feature you toggle, it's a property you can rely on. When the system runs correctly over the long term, it always promises certain things. No double spend, immutability, atomic execution. These are not promises made by a trusted company. They're enforced by consensus rules and by physics. Those guarantees are the building blocks. So what exactly are these building blocks? Let's lay them out in 4 groups. First, money integrity. No double spend, accounting that always balances. Forgery protections through signatures and indivisible outputs. Second, permanence. Immutability, consistency, durable replication across thousands of nodes, secure timestamping, and non-expiration. Third, control. Authorizations through signatures, quorum of control through multisig, timelocks that delay spending, atomicity and integrity through SIGHASH flags. Fourth, network properties, neutrality, auditability, and predictable issuance. Multisig means a transaction needs several keys to authorize it. A time lock locks coins until a future block or time. Atomicity means a transaction either fully executes or doesn't happen at all. These are your primitives. Here's the memorable insight. Immutability and the consistency aren't free. They're paid for in joules. Proof of work means miners burn real electricity to add each block. Once your transaction sits in a block, every block stacked on top buries it deeper. To rewrite your transaction, an attacker must redo all that work and outrace the entire network. The reversal cost equals the sum of all the stacked energy. This converts trust into a physical cost. It also corrects a myth. Immutability is an instant or absolute. A freshly mined block is weakly immutable. It strengthens with every confirmation as more energy piles on top. A pile of blocks is just a pile until you start combining them. Here's what developers have built. Each app is a specific recipe of primitives. Start with the simplest. Proof of existence, a digital notary. The recipe is immutability plus timestamping plus durability. You take a document, run it through a hash function, and get a unique fingerprint. You commit that fingerprint into a transaction. The blockchain now proves this exact data existed at this exact moment. Change 1 comma in the document and the fingerprint won't match. The proof can never be altered or lost. No notary, no central registry, just 3 building blocks combined. Second recipe, lighthouse crowdfunding. The ingredients are consistency, atomicity, and integrity. Imagine 1,000 people want to fund a goal, but only if everyone else chips in too. Each contributor signs 1 input pledging their money, and they all point to the same funding output. Here's the clever part. They sign with a special SIGHASH flag that locks in the output amount but lets more inputs be added. The transaction can't be spent until the goal is fully funded. It's all or nothing. If the target isn't reached, no money moves. No escrow service, no middleman holding funds. Atomicity does the work that a trusted intermediary would normally do. Third recipe, the most sophisticated. Payment channels, the foundation of the Lightning Network. Lightning is Bitcoin's second layer, letting parties transact instantly off-chain. The recipe combines quorum of control, time lock, no double spend, non-expiration, and authorization. Alice and Bob lock funds into a 2-of-2 multisig settlement transaction. Both keys are required to spend it. Because of non-expiration, this transaction can be held indefinitely. They never have to broadcast it. Instead, they exchange commitment transactions privately, each one updating the balance between them. Newer commitments carry shorter time locks, so they supersede the older ones. The result? Alice and Bob can pay each other thousands of times instantly off-chain and only touch the blockchain when they finally close the channel. Put the three recipes side by side and the pattern is clear. Proof of existence, immutability, timestamping, durability. Lighthouse, consistency, atomicity, integrity. Payment channels, quorum of control. Time lock, no double spend, non-expiration, authorization. Same palette of blocks, different arrangements. And notice what's missing. None of these require smart contracts in the Ethereum sense. There's no on-chain program executing arbitrary code. These apps are built purely by cleverly arranging Bitcoin's existing guarantees. That dismantles the common belief that you need another platform to build real applications. Notice the pattern. Every app is just a recipe. That's the real power of treating Bitcoin as a platform. Zoom out and you see a layered design. At the bottom sits the Bitcoin base layer, holding the guarantees. Above it, the building block primitives, and on top, the applications, the notary, crowdfunding, Lightning. The base layer is intentionally simple and conservative. That simplicity is a feature, not a limitation. It provides a rock-solid foundation that rarely changes. Just as TCP/IP enabled the web without ever knowing about websites, Bitcoin's primitives enable applications it was never explicitly designed for. And the menu keeps growing. Every protocol upgrade adds new building blocks, expanding what developers can build on top without disturbing the layers below. The Lightning Network is the flagship proof of this layered design. Millions of off-chain payments all anchored to the same conservative base. The deeper lesson is this. Bitcoin's guarantees aren't features bolted on, they're properties enforced by consensus and underwritten by energy. Trust in this system is something you can measure in joules. So the next time someone calls Bitcoin just digital money, remember the hidden API beneath it, a fixed set of guarantees, backed by physical energy that developers compose like Lego bricks. Proof of existence, crowdfunding, and the Lightning are only the beginning. The base stays simple, the energy keeps stacking, and the applications keep growing above.